Jonesy, I nailed it again. I picked Penn State to win by exactly 3 points, and I was right.
Is that sarcasm?
That was a little sarcasm,
okay.
yeah. I'm glad you picked up on that.
I picked him by 6. Yeah.
Something
you
like
picked
that.
him by 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling great right now.
I guess Greg Pickles saw all the picks, and he said he didn't see any of them that were too far away. So nobody really expected this. Why did you not expect this? Put it that way.
Just based on, they had struggled quite a bit against Buffalo and Pittsburgh, and I thought athletically this might be a team that was probably better than both of those if they played well, and it just wasn't the case. I mean, Penn State's defense made some plays early in this game, and then it's called complementary football. Sean Clifford played his best game, and you saw their speed and their depth on display. It didn't really matter who was running the ball or who was catching the ball. KJ Hamler got involved early, and it was pretty clear that this Maryland offense was really not equipped to probably play from behind against a fast defense.
I think it comes down to one thing. When these two teams step on the field, one team just has a feeling they're going to win, and they're going to win big, and the other one's wondering if they can finally get over the hump. And this was a full house in this place, which almost never is full. The biggest crowd in Maryland Stadium, which used to be known as Bird Stadium, which back then was never full. The biggest crowd here in 8 years, the 6th biggest crowd ever, and I think the moment was a little too big for all.
It's funny, all these games have been so lopsided, but this Maryland team has produced some good individual talent. Darnell Savage, first-round pick of the Packers. DJ Moore, first-round pick of the Carolina Panthers. McFarland looks like he's a player, but for whatever reason, they never do anything against this Penn State team.
That's what I'm saying. And they've had great individual games against other teams.
Right.
Beating the crap out of Minnesota, beating Texas twice in the last 2 seasons. Beating Syracuse, which isn't a horrible team, by 42, 43 this year. But when they see Penn State, I mean, I think and also, I've got to say, I don't know how many people know out there, but Josh Jackson, the Maryland quarterback, is my nephew. And I didn't expect this, but he didn't play well at all. The offensive line in front of him wasn't really the problem on the 2 picks that he threw, but then they became very much the problem, and they couldn't get any push. They've got a lot of injuries. Mike Loxley's got a long way to go before he can get this thing put together.
It was funny. It looked to me like about 85% of the Penn State roster played really well, and it was just a snowball effect. Sean Clifford had his best game. Jan Johnson made a really nice play on that first interception.
Isn't it funny the way confidence can be built on itself?
Field. The offensive line did not allow a sack. They threw 40 times, 81 total plays.
Confidence can really build on itself with a whole team when they all believe that it goes the other way too, which I think it did with Maryland.
I'll be very interested to see what Penn State does to build off of this effort. Will this be an indication of what October might be like, or is it just simply a case of them just completely having Maryland's number and everything else is just kind of going to have to play itself out?
So anyway, just to get this out of the way, I had to kind of recuse myself from writing anything about this because I want my nephew to do well. And of course, I'm crushed for him in the first half and then into the third quarter, and I was worried about how he would react. And I went and found him. He didn't do any interviews this game because I don't think Locks wanted him to. And then I finally found him, and I waited for him coming out of the shower. You know what he did? He gives me a big smile and asks me how I'm doing, if I'm doing okay.
Well, that's a good sign. For sure.
I've never been more proud of that kid than I am right now, and that's pretty cool. So maybe they'll be able to bounce back, and maybe they won't, but it's a football game. And Penn State has a football team, maybe more than we know. So, until we see you back in Beaver Stadium, what do we got, Purdue?
Purdue, noon kick. Travel,
you love those noon
travel
kicks.
Alert.
Back way, doing the back way, 104.
Pickle and I are going to get up at 3 a.m., I think.
Well,
that might not be early enough.
With that new Penn State parking system that the geniuses put together, you won't have to do that.
It's like 8 figures they pay for that, 8 or 9.
Until then, from Beaver Stadium. Adios.